Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John's report is for the 12th of September. And you can see the power of that rising short-term buyers jumping in here in this form of the steel here, rising within, well, of course, gold above 50%, which usually leads towards a move to the highs, unless you get a sell signal, of course. And we had this very positive move in the extreme histogram where you're not below the negative 60 and you stay right in that sweet zone, which adds plenty of support. And so every time we get to the 76, everything then was focused on the ABM yellow and still battling that. That's right around that 92 range. Actually, if I go ahead and click the info window, you can read that deal fast right there. Don't need that. We can click the deal fast right there. Is at 92.25. And not much of an improvement from a shakeout standpoint or anything, but you are just about to create the equivalent of a snake. Now, when you're looking at a daily, something always to pay attention to is this equivalent of the reset of steel that then crosses the red, typically starts the end of a down move, and usually leads to a little consolidation and then pop. Usually you want to see the green in that follow through to really give you a strong impetus boost like it did here. But you can see the last time it crossed was, well, right about here. It was in the middle of the declining shakeout in that, and it provided the same support guideline. So keep that one in mind when you're looking at overall charts. Now this is much stronger bullish long right there with the bullish snake as opposed to the bearish with the orange above. This one has the steel above, and you're just about to get the cross as well as the orange nap dipping below. So that would produce a full reset like we had over here, which would definitely drive price to the highs. Euro above the top side of the range, nothing special there. And of course, people realizing that rates are likely to go up under that kind of economic improvement. And then there was a big drawdown in inventories, which means that the economy clearly is heating up because it's really sucking all the oil up. And when you have limited supply, start to get increase in price. We talked about gold having, based quite a bit here, an improved shakeout, and it was just waiting for a little bit of a reset and not quite seeing it just yet, but supported off the ABM green right there, also within gold under the weaker setup compared to the daily that you're seeing on the ES and that. So intraday was fantastic. We started out with our VOC spread. We had a couple of warning lines right there, and sure enough, we filled that in pretty quick and then started making new lows in clean short setup. And then we ended up with the orange candle here, which usually suggests that you're going to get a retrace to that. But as I pointed out before in the other day's video, when you get this green cross, and it's usually when orange crosses back above green that it ends it, and that's where you get those like short bounces that just die really quick. But once you get green over cyan, and in this particular case above the 23, to me that was just a conversion to the long from the short. I tend to cover when I get those dips down there and then look for any pop that comes in to be able to short if it maintains a short signal. But in this case, long signal, when we turned into blue, that's fine. Just started following the ABM, was posting that one. We came up to the peak, ended up with a nice chart configuration within that DOC spread there with the green going below, but it was pretty short lived because once you didn't break the 50 and you hit upon it, you can see the little green dots started to develop as we ended up with a nice move there. We didn't get into an oversold that caused a breakdown, and we got a complete buy reset, and sure enough from that point took off. We were also gold about 50%, so you're thinking to yourself, well, it's going to go to the 100. Yeah, but it can bounce around a little bit, so it was worth taking a couple points to the downside and ended up covering, the rest of it when we came back up and converted to the buy. And then cyan under red. And in this particular case, it wasn't until you get to a situation like this where you have red over 13 plus 5. Typically what happens in that case is, yes, you get the little retraces. So any of these signals with the breakdown, like I like right here when you get the orange, but usually you want to see the steel break down below at the same time that you're getting that. In this case, the steel was already down, so there really wasn't any bonus that you could gain from that equivalently. You had a couple others that produced a little bit more, but all you got was 76. Not too shocking because you're still super positive shakeout, but you got a lot of these red positive extremes. So there's a couple lines I marked here. This positive extreme at 80 for a retrace, and then this one, which will get retraced, which is the theoretically should be the open right up there, a little bit below the 23 at about 70, that will get retraced. And it seems improbable that you'll get that kind of a pullback to it, and it may take a couple of days, but it tends to get filled, better than 80+% of the time. So doesn't mean you can't play the longs in between. It just means that when you start seeing selling, you've got some targets. So that's a pretty decent range, 15 points from the top side that when you start to see short configuration setups. Of course, in this particular case, yes, we're seeing the split right here, but you really need to see green trailing lower underneath the red, and you're just kind of stuck there now. The red DOC breaking below 0, yeah, that would be definitely cause to suggest that you're going to get a bit more of a sell-off within that configuration. So all in all, some really strong readings with that. I mean, you had that nice move here where the orange dipped below the red right here in the post-market configuration that led to this up move that took us all the way to the highs. So the gold fulfilled its setup. I don't know why I'm getting that flash through. Let's see if that helps. Yeah. And we're building a new shakeout, having reset. So all in all, good stuff. I'll continue to post these, but it makes it very easy to follow the market. In fact, I should just go put that long setup right there because that was a clear, defined signal. And you notice, see, here's that beautiful thing where the green goes above cyan, and you had orange doesn't break above until you've already achieved your positive extremes, and you get the little dot right there, which lets you know that, hey, in fact, you got exactly what you're looking for from a short snake. You just don't have midterm buyers caving in on that, which means you're probably not going to get a whole lot. But still, let you know that, hey, you can get out at the peak, reboot, and be ready to go for the next. So, all in all, good stuff. As always, trade well. I'll put things on the Skype chat as warranted. Talk to you later.